fine. I mean, it's a chunk of hardware, and you can do, you know, not quite anything you want with it, but, you know, they're both pretty flexible devices. But if you buy your stuff from Apple in the iTunes Music Store, if you buy your stuff in the Zune Store, if you buy it in the Yahoo Plays for Sure store, you can't take that music away from that system ever.
Well, that's what I was talking about in the connection of the fact that they're trying to tie, hardware, software, content.
Absolutely.
Everything is trying to get tied together, so you have to, like the cable system or something else, you have to buy the whole package. And once you made a commitment, you're stuck with that commitment because you've already made such an investment in it. You can't just throw it in the garbage to go to some whole new system where you have to buy all your hardware again, all your crud again, the whole thing again.
Yeah, this is a problem with anything.
You're just committed to these choices you have to make, and none of these choices have anything to do with you personalizing anything for you.
And I think what we have to remember is this isn't like this is technology that's been put into place essentially to prevent us from doing what we want with music and software and stuff. It's not created because the technology advances. I mean, technology advancements may cause you to be unable to transfer from one type of player to another, but that's not what's causing this problem. Current problem is it's being caused by commercial interests.
Oh, absolutely, because all of this DRM stuff, there was DRM pre-digital media. If you look at Macrovision, the thing that stops you from being able to tape off with TV, what they basically do is they play with the timings of the signal coming out of a medium. That's the reason you generally can't hook up a VCR to that and tape a pre-recorded VCR tape, because they play with the timings so that your no, it's not incompatible. It's been made intentionally uncopyable. And your content has been degraded for that. So that videotape, now if that videotape gets old and starts getting a little out of sync, that copy protection that they put on there might push it over the edge to unwatchability. Where before it was a robust system, now it's a system right on the edge. The same thing happens with CDs. You really have to be careful. I said you could buy your CDs and put them on your computer. They're taking CDs and they're trying to copy protect those, and they're making them not quite work right. So it'll work in your stereo CD player, but might not work in your car. It definitely won't work in your Windows computer. Maybe it'll work in Linux, maybe it won't. I've had this problem with CDs I've purchased, where you buy the CD with the intention of, okay, I'm going to take this music for me, change it into MP3 format, put it in my MP3 player, but then it doesn't rip correctly. It doesn't, when I say rip, it doesn't transfer from the disk to the computer correctly. And this is an inherent problem. This is them trying to take that same DRM copy protection and translate it into the disk that you buy, which should be a CD. Now, you'll notice a lot of, shiny discs full of music you purchase in the stores these days. They don't say CD anywhere on them, because Philips actually has I don't think it's a copyright. It's not a patent. They've got a standard, and to use that CD logo or to use the DVD logo, you have to conform to certain standards. No, it's not a trademark.
No, it's a standard. Yeah,
it's a
regulatory standard.
But it's not even regulatory. They have a logo. If you want to use that logo, saying this is a CD, there's probably a copyright in there somewhere. But if you want to use that CD logo to show that this works in CD players, you have to conform to a standard. They've stopped conforming to the standard, so many of these discs you buy no longer will say CD. And what I would encourage people to do is, if you buy a CD and it doesn't play in your computer, and you find that unacceptable, bring it back to the store and return it. Because that's the only way these manufacturers are going to change that behavior. Because right now, they throw these things out there and say, as long as these lemmings keep buying these things, we'll keep putting them out in a damaged format that you can't use your fair use rights on.
And you have to remember, there are other ways to get music. I'm not going to mention it here, but there are other ways to get music from people who maybe from a friend who knows how to. I guess you can bypass that legally, right?
Absolutely. Well, if you want to say strictly within the terms of the law, you should be able to make a backup copy of the media for yourself. So if you bring it to a friend, they give you a backup copy. You give it to them. They make a copy. They give it to you. They give you all the copies that they've made. You should technically be within the law. Keep in mind, I'm not a lawyer. Don't take this as legal advice.
Right.
But if someone else makes a copy and you take that copy and they don't retain a copy, you should be within.
Well, they're making. Well, there's lots of people on eBay selling products.
I wasn't saying. I wasn't. That's not. I think you misinterpreted what I was saying. No, what I was saying is that they can help you to create to take it from your CD to a computer, not for their purposes, right, but purely to help you get from the CD to
the bottom line is, it isn't the public outcry that's demanding these changes in copyright. Okay, the public isn't hysterically worried about, you know, creative artists or whatever not getting enough money, or businesses not making enough money. Okay, this is the initiative is all business motivated. It's their interest, because they want standards that are better than the standards that existed when tape recorders existed. That existed when VCR.
They don't necessarily want better standards. They want standards that they can better control.
Well, I'm just saying this. They want. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying they want to rewrite the law to a standard that is very different from the standard. You know, look, the movie industry cried foul when the VCR came out. It's going to ruin movies. We're not going to make any money anymore. It's going to destroy creativity.
That's right.
And now they're paying $250 million to make a movie. So let's get serious. Obviously, it didn't hurt their research and development. It didn't hurt the amount of money they were willing to invest in making a movie.
And of course, the cassette player was going to ruin the music industry.
Well, I just say that exactly.
When the music industry vanished in 1976,
exactly.
That was a horrible.
It might have been 86, but it did vanish. I mean, who's making music anymore?
And it turned.
There's still a music industry, whether you think it's of suitable quality is another issue.
It turned out that they actually, especially with the VHS player, the industry actually made a lot of money off it, because now we have
they sold the videos, they did the whole thing. But I'm just saying that this is the false. It's one of these things where, I mean, really laws should be from some sort of better source or better initiative than the